Let's talk about the activity I have for you today. What do you notice when you look at the pictures of the tractors pulling our hay and forage equipment? Why do you think they have such large tires, with the rear tires being even larger? Think about the type of ground tractors drive on. Fields can be soft or sometimes muddy and can be pretty uneven. Large tires provide traction with their large surface area. This means a bigger contact patch to grab more of the ground and keep the wheels from slipping. Having big surface area also spreads out the weight for less compaction of the ground, which is important to keep from damaging crops and packing soil, which inhibits new plant growth. I like to relate it to walking across a lawn in high heels versus tennis shoes. Having a bigger surface contact with the ground keeps you from sinking in. Having large rear tires also balances the weight from the engine and other items under the hood. And think about when a tractor is pulling a heavy implement behind them. Pulling power is needed, and large tires multiply the force put out by the axle, helping tractors to pull hefty loads. Using cardboard, let's build a rubber band powered tractor that can scramble across the floor. You will need the following materials. Corrugated cardboard. You'll need one 6-inch square and two 5-inch squares. Plus, it's probably handy to have some spare cardboard in case you need to redesign anything. You'll also need a sharpened pencil, rubber bands, a ruler, and some tape. In addition, you'll want to have 2 round pieces of candy. I'd recommend Lifesavers. And also make sure you have a plastic drinking straw and scissors.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is grab your cardboard. So you have your 6-inch square cardboard, which is going to be the body of the tractor. And then you have your 2 5-inch squares, which will be your wheels. So starting with the body, what I'm going to want you to do is fold this piece of cardboard into thirds, and you're going to want to go in the direction of the corrugation. So if you can see here, ignoring the pencil lines on there, you can see the faint lines that go across. That's the direction that the cardboard's corrugated. So you're going to want to fold along those. Okay, so you're going to take the 6-inch square piece and you're going to want to fold along like we talked about, and fold it into thirds. So each section will be about 2 inches across. So I'm going to fold up here and fold up on this side. And that is actually going to be the body of your car. So what you should have is a U-shaped piece of cardboard once you've added the bends. Now for the wheels, what you're going to want to do is take your ruler and you're actually going to want to draw a line from corner to corner on each side. Now I don't have a ruler, so I'm actually going to use a magazine. And you want to take it and you want to draw from one corner to the other, and you'll just draw a line across there, and then do that for the other 2 corners. So that you get an X. And you're gonna wanna do this for both wheels, but what you're gonna wanna do then is poke a hole in where the 2 lines intersect. So that'll be the center of your wheel, and I'm actually just gonna use my pencil. So I'll poke it right through the middle so that it comes out the other side. This is how we're gonna attach the pencil, which will become your axle later. So you wanna do that for both wheels. Okay, so I have both wheels ready. Now what we're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna poke 1 hole or 2 holes directly across from each other on the body of your tractor. You wanna try to make sure they're as close to being directly as possible, because that is gonna affect how even your wheels turn together. And I would just use the same thing. I would use a pencil to poke the hole in one side, to the other. And so this is going to become the axle for the tractor. And then what you're going to want to do is put the 2 wheels on by sticking it through the pencil on both sides. And then the next step you're going to want to do is to try to get them as parallel as possible and evenly spaced. And then this part's a little tricky, but you're going to want to tape the axle onto the wheel. And so I would do that tape on both the insides and the outsides just to keep the wheel stationary. All right, so you have both wheels taped onto the axle and through the body of the tractor. One thing I probably should have mentioned earlier is you want to make sure that the pencil can spin freely. So you might kind of have to work the pencil through the holes on the tractor side to make sure the holes are big enough so that the pencil spins easily. All right, now the next step I would do is, this is going to be the back side of your tractor. So on the front, I will actually cut 2 slits, and this is how we're going to attach the rubber band. And if you can see here, so what I did was I just cut 2 slits in the tractor body, and then that's how we'll attach the rubber band. Before we do that though, we want to attach the front wheels. So what I would do is you want to tape a straw here underneath the body of the tractor on the front. So that is what's going to hold the 2 pieces of candy that we mentioned. And just make sure that you still, as you tape them on, you still have enough room for, or that you're not taping over the slits where we're going to put our rubber band. So here's the front axle. And then what we want to do is slide. So I have lifesavers. You want to slide the lifesavers on, and these are going to be your front wheels. So do that on both sides. And then to make sure that they don't come off, we will just bend the axle here at the end and tape. And then do that on both sides. Okay, so you can see that I've got the tractor built. We have our rear tires, our tractor body, and the front wheels, which are the 2 lifesavers. And then the last step is to attach the rubber bands. I'm actually going to loop 2 rubber bands together. Just pull those through. And then what I'm actually going to do is loop the one end around the pencil and loop it through itself. So that it stays attached. It'll make it easier to wind up later. So I just looped it on like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make those, with the 2 slits that we cut in, we're actually going to attach the rubber band there. So if you just loop those through, it will stay on. And then you can wind the wheels up the direction you need to. So now you have your tractor built and it's ready to test. So I'm going to actually test my tractor on my carpet. I've got a car that I actually built prior, since I kind of threw that one together pretty quick, but you can see my finished car, and I actually put a rubber band around the body just to keep the sides parallel, but I've got it wrapped up along the axle, so the rubber band is wrapped. So let's test it out.
Did everything work? Can you make it go even farther? Engineers improve their designs by testing them. This is called the design process. Try redesigning the wheel setup or rubber band system. If you're having problems, here's a few things you can try. Feel free to pause here. I hope you had fun and were successful with your rubber band tractor. Here's one thing I'll leave you with. We talked about our John Deere tractors with large rear tires and the reasons for it. What about this Ottumwa product called a windrower? People mistake it for a backwards tractor. Why do you think it has large tires on the front? With that puzzle to solve, I thank you for spending some time with me today and hope you have a great day.